Welcome to the deep dive at Pure Word Missionary Baptist Church.
You're here because you want to really understand things, right? You want to cut through all that noise and get to the heart of it. You want the insightful knowledge, without all the fluff.
Yeah, straight to the point.
Straight to the point. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing today. We're taking a deep dive into a pretty intense moment in the Bible. It's from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 26, verses 40 through 45.
Yeah, very specific moment in time, but one that I think speaks to some really profound and universal truths.
Absolutely. We've actually got this passage translated a bunch of different ways, which I think is going to help us unpack it even better. Find those crucial points, and you maybe even stumble across something we hadn't really considered before.
Yeah, the different perspectives can be so illuminating.
Totally. So, okay, imagine this.
Mhm.
It's the Garden of Gethsemane. Jesus is there with his disciples.
Right, setting the scene.
Yeah. Exactly, setting the scene. It's not just some casual hangout, though.
Yeah.
The air is thick with anticipation and this knowledge that something big is about to happen. He's gone there to pray, to grapple with the immense suffering he knows is coming.
And remember, he's not alone. He's brought Peter, James, and John a little closer.
Oh, yeah, it's that inner circle, right?
Exactly, like a small huddle of support in this really significant hour.
Yeah.
He's seeking that human connection as he faces something monumental.
Oh, definitely. And then, boom, Jesus comes back to these three and finds them sound asleep.
Oh, man. Talk about a reality check.
Seriously. His question to Peter, could you not watch with me 1 hour? It's almost like he can't believe it, Just 60 minutes. That's all he asked for.
It really highlights just how crucial that time was for Jesus. It wasn't some abstract request for indefinite vigilance, It was very specific plea for companionship during this critical period leading up to his arrest.
And it's Peter. He singles out Peter, who always declared his unwavering loyalty. Makes you wonder what kind of internal pressure they were all under.
Absolutely. The weight of the situation must have been immense.
And then he tells them, watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. It's like he's connecting staying awake with being able to resist whatever trials they're about to face.
It's more than just keeping their eyes open, right? It's about maintaining a state of spiritual vigilance, a readiness to face what's coming. And prayer is that connection to strength beyond themselves.
It's almost like their sleepiness isn't just physical tiredness,
Yeah.
It's like it leaves them vulnerable in other ways.
Exactly. What emotional and spiritual turmoil might they have been going through that contributed to this?
Man, and then we get that line that's so relatable. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. It's echoed in so many translations, The heart wants to do what's right, but our human limitations, they just kick in.
I mean, haven't we all been there, that gap between intention and action?
Oh, yeah, big time.
It's a profoundly human observation. Their hearts were probably in the right place. They intended to stay awake and be there for Jesus. But the emotional weight, the exhaustion after a long day, the intensity of the Last Supper, it likely overwhelmed their resolve.
It's like even when our desires are sincere, we've got these very real limitations.
Our humanity shows through.
So then Jesus goes off to pray again. And the translations we have give us slightly different shades of his prayer, but it's all centered around this cup, this image of his impending suffering. And ultimately, it's about surrendering to the Father's will.
The cup is such a powerful symbol in biblical terms, often representing God's judgment or a divinely appointed destiny.
Right, so he's not just facing physical pain here. He's wrestling with the whole weight of his mission.
Exactly, and his prayer reveals that struggle, but also his ultimate submission. We see phrases like, if this cup may not pass away from me except I drink it, thy will be done. Or the way the Message puts it, if there is no other way than this drinking this cup to the dregs, I'm ready. Do it your way.
Wow, that's intense.
It really gets to the heart of his internal battle.
And then he comes back to the disciples, and guess what? Still asleep.
Oh no, not again.
Yeah, and many of the translations point out that their eyes were heavy. The Message and the Passion Translation make it even more vivid. They simply couldn't keep your eyes open.
You can almost see them, right? That overwhelming exhaustion.
Yeah, it's like that heavy eyelid detail adds another layer to it. It goes beyond just a lack of willpower and suggests a deeper physical and emotional fatigue.
Like the gravity of the situation itself was just too much to bear.
So he leaves them again and prays for a third time.
Yeah.
And the text keeps mentioning that he's saying the same words or going over the same ground one last time, like the Message says.
That repetition really emphasizes the intensity of his prayer and his unwavering commitment to the Father's will.
Right. It's not just a casual request. It's this deep wrestling, this repeated affirmation.
And then he comes back to the disciples for the third time.
And this time, the tone feels different, Like in the King James Version, it says, "Sleep on now and take your rest." It almost sounds resigned.
Right, compared to the more pointed questions in other versions, like, are you still sleeping and resting? Or even, are you going to sleep on and make a night of it?
Yeah, you can feel the shift.
Yeah.
The New Living Translation is super direct. Go ahead and sleep, have your rest, but look, the time has come.
Wow, it's like the window for support has closed and reality is about to hit.
And then he says, "Behold, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners." The wording might change slightly, but the core message is the same across all the translations.
It's the turning point. The anticipation is over and things are about to be set in motion.
And that phrase, "betrayed into the hands of sinners," it really underscores the injustice of it all.
It highlights the stark contrast between Jesus' innocence and the nature of those who are rejecting him.
And then the final instruction is a call to action. The message puts it so perfectly. Get up. Let's get going. My betrayer is here.
From internal struggle to facing external reality.
Yeah. It's time to move.
The time for reflection is over. The focus shifts to the betrayal and what's to come.
So when we look at this whole scene, we see Jesus seeking comfort from his friends, their struggle with exhaustion despite their good intentions, his agonizing prayer and surrender to a larger purpose, and then that unavoidable moment of betrayal.
Oh.
It's like this powerful snapshot of a pivotal event, but also this relatable picture of human weakness and strength.
It's incredible how this short passage captures so much up at the human experience. The tension between our ideals and limitations, the need for vigilance, not just physically, but spiritually and emotionally, and the strength we can find by aligning ourselves with something bigger than ourselves.
It's a story that's resonated for centuries because it speaks to something so deep within us. So for you listening, think about those times when you felt that tug of war between what you should do and what you feel capable of doing. What can this scene in the Garden of Gethsemane teach us about facing challenges and seeking strength beyond ourselves?
Oh,
It's definitely something to think about.
definitely something to ponder.
Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.
It's been a pleasure.
All right, we'll see you next time.
See you then.